Hello students, I am Alpa Rupala, Assistant Professor from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology, Computer Department. Welcome to the lecture series of Mobile Computing and Wireless Communication. Unit number 1, subtopic Communication Network. In this lecture, we will learn about what is the protocol, how the protocol architecture is being built, OSI model and TCP/IP model. First of all, for the need of protocol where it is being used. So the protocol are being used in a communication network. A communication network is nothing but a kind of network in which more than two devices are being connected for communication purpose. So the protocols are the rules that governs this communication. Okay, so we can say a definition of protocol as it is a set of rules that governs the communication. Now, what is the need of protocol architecture? So first of all, we need to find out that there is the path between the sender and receiver or not. Secondly, we have to find out that receiver is ready to receive the data or not. Third, to find out that the sufficient amount of storage space is available or not. And fourth, the data which is being transferred are proper format to be received or not. So these all are the protocol architecture requirement. Now moving forward to the OSI model. OSI model stands for Open System for Interconnection. It is basically developed by ISO organization, which is International Standard Organization. The OSI layer is basically built for communication between two computer softwares by any physical medium. Here are the 7 layers of the OSI model. The first layer is physical layer, second layer is data link layer, third one is network layer, fourth one transport layer, fifth one session layer, sixth one presentation layer, and seventh one application layer. So your OSI model is being divided into basic two parts. The first 4 layer is known as the host layer and last 3 layer is known as the media layer. So whenever we are sending software data from one software to another software, at that time particularly we are moving forward from application layer to physical layer at transmitter side, and then after physical layer to application layer at receiver side. So first of all, we are seeing our first layer, that is physical layer. The physical layer which is transmitting your data in the form of bits. It is doing line configuration. Line configuration means it defines how your two devices are connected physically. Data transmission means what the way of communication is. It is full duplex or it is half duplex. The topology means in what arrangement your devices are arranged, and signals mean how your devices are transferring your data. The next layer is data link layer. The data link layer is further divided into two parts, MAC layer and LLC. So the basic flow control and error control mechanism is being performed by data link layer. Now this is the error control mechanism you will learn in further lectures in depth. The data link layer also provides the physical addressing. The physical addressing means your MAC address. It is providing you the MAC address for your computer. Access control is being provided by your data link layer by the way what channel, what application is using which channel for your data transfer. Then third one is network layer. The network layer is basically is responsible for node-to-node delivery, in which the logical addressing are given by the network layer, which is we are calling the IP address. The basic fundamental of or function of your network layer is routing. How the data are being routed is basically defined in your network layer. The transport layer is responsible for process-to-process delivery of your data. The segmentation and reassembly of your data is being done at the transport layer. Flow control and error control at the process-to-process endpoint being checked by your transport layer. Then after, the session layer is responsible for dialog control and synchronization. Dialog control means how your two softwares or devices are being connected to each other. It is responsibility of the session layer. Synchronization means the data you are carrying from your sender to destination is being carried out in perfect synchronization or not. So the management and termination of your session is being carried out by your session layer. Then after presentation layer, it is basically responsible for translate, encryption and compression of your data. And your application layer is nothing but your human interface with your device, and it is basically responsible for file transfer and mail services and all the other human control devices. So it is all about the OSI model. You have learned earlier OSI model in depth in your computer network. We don't require this particular topic in that much of depth, so we have just covered the summary of it. So next one is network devices that are being used at OSI layer. The first network device is repeater. So what is the repeater? We earlier learned about the signal attenuation. Attenuation means reduction of signal strength. So this strength can be boosted up by the repeater. Likewise, in example, you can see the person Jim is sending some data by the walkie-talkie with the frequency of 146.76 megahertz. And that data is being sent to the one repeater with the same intensity or same frequency value. And then after that data with the same intensity value being boosted up and being sent to your receiver. So basically repeaters are working at the physical layer of your OSI model. They are not basically regenerating your signal, they are just boosting up or giving the some amount of energy to it for transfer of data for a long distance communication. Here is the just a basic example of your repeater. This device repeater could be like this. Okay, there are different kind of repeaters also available. Nowadays you can also use the Wi-Fi repeater at your own home. Next device is hub. Hub is also being used at physical layer of OSI model. It is a kind of multi-port repeater. Here it is the example of hub. We are basically using hub to connect multiple devices to interact with each other. But the disadvantage of hub is it is not or it cannot filter out the data. So basically there are two types of hubs available. First one is active hub and second one is passive hub. The active hub can have their own power supply, but the passive hub is getting the power supply from the active one. The functionality of both the hub are same, but the passive hub is not that much of accurate, but active hub is that properly accurate. Next one is bridge. Bridge is operating at data link layer of OSI model. It is a kind of repeater which is having some smart functionality of filtering the content according to your MAC address. Likewise, the receiver, we can identify the receiver by the MAC address. Broadcasting concept is there, but we can also send the perfect data to your perfect MAC address by filtering out the data by connection of your multiple devices with the help of bridge. So ultimately, your repeater and bridge both are similar kind of, so ultimately your bridge and hub is a kind of similar devices, but the hub is not allowing filtering whereas the bridge is allowing filtering. There is two type of bridge. First one is transparent bridge. In transparent bridge, the station is completely unaware about the bridge existence. And second type of bridge are source routing bridge. This kind of bridge can identify the path of your receiver device by priorly sending one special frame, and that frame is known as discovery frame. Next device is switch. Switch is a kind of multi-port bridge and it is also working at data link layer. Here you can see the example of switch device. Next one is routers. Routers are just like a switch device, but it is based on the IP addresses. So they are working at the OSI layer, network layer. When we want to connect more than two devices with the different protocols, like when we want to connect two different devices from two different networks, then we can use the router. Like router, when we are having two different kind of devices attached at two different networks, but they are based on the same protocol structure. Here you can see the example of routers. Suppose we are having one hub connected with the LAN and one switch is connected with WAN, and both are connected with each other by the device that is router. So basically, next one is gateway. Now, router and gateway both have the similar functionality, but we can assume that gateway is a kind of device which connects two networks but with different protocols. But with different protocols. That means when router is connecting two networks with the same protocol, but whereas the gateway is connecting two networks with different protocols, and gateway can be worked at any layer of your OSI model. Basically, it is the example of gateway device. You are connecting two different protocols architecture device by the one single device. Now next one is router. Router is a combination of bridge and router. That means it is routing the packets by filtering it, and it can be worked at both the data link layer or at the network layer. So here are the example. We are attaching two LANs with the one network device, that is router. You can see over here, are many communication devices are connected in your communication network for communication purpose. Now the selection of your device is as per of your requirement. What is your requirement? According to that, you can select your communication device at different layers. Now next one is TCP/IP model. The advanced model of your OSI model is known as the TCP/IP model. Basically, nowadays we are using this model rather than the OSI model. It is basically having 5 layers, whereas the OSI were having the 7 layers. Here it is application layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer. We can see over here, we can directly compare OSI layer with the TCP/IP layer in conceptual way. Likewise, we are having the network interface layer in OSI in TCP/IP model, which is having the similar functionality as physical layer and data link layer. The network layer is having the similar functionality as network layer of OSI model. Transport layer is also having the similar functionality as transport layer of OSI model, And application layer of TCP/IP is having the same functionality as application, presentation and session layer of your OSI model. So we can see the diagram. Whatever the protocols are being used in a TCP/IP are written over here. In network interface layer, we can use Ethernet, token ring, frame relay or ATM network. In internet layer, we can use IP. In host to protocol transport, in host to host transport layer, we can use TCP and UDP. We all know that TCP is being used for the connection oriented and UDP is used at connection-less communication. Application layer of TCP/IP is using different protocols according to our requirement. So here are the basic functionality and similar functionality. The physical layer is doing modulation, coding, power control and mobility status. Likewise, your OSI layer, physical layer, data link layer is also doing the same, error recovery and retransmission of queue. Everything same as your OSI layers, data link layer model. Network layer is doing the routing. Transport layer is responsible for end-to-end delivery and recovery of your data, and application layer is responsible for all the functionalities of OSI layers, application layer, presentation layer and session layer function. So here it is the summary. We are not going into that much of depth in this topic because you have already learned this whole topics in computer network. First of all, we have learned about the protocols. Then after we learned about the OSI model, the network devices which are being used and at each layer of your OSI model. Then after we have learned about the TCP/IP model. Thank you. We will meet in our next lecture.